Good morning. Today's topic is for BSc Physics Honors 6th students whose optional paper is Nanotechnology. This paper is very important as it is very useful for the research purposes. And today's topic is synthesization of nanomaterials. Synthesis of synthesis of nanomaterials. In previous lectures, we discussed about what are the nanomaterials, particles, or substances. Any particle which is lies in the size of 10 raised to power minus 9 meter, then that particle or materials should be under preview of what? Nanoscience, and its whole properties are under preview of nanotechnology. Okay, if I have to precisely define that what is the size of any particle to be called as nanoparticle, or what is the size, what should be the size of any material which we have to called it as a nanomaterial. Its size in any dimension, not in a fixed length, width or height. If any dimension of the given materials is in between 1 to 100 nanometer, then its all properties, behavior, either physical, chemical, biological, what, or environmental, any properties should be under preview of nanotechnology. And this science, nanoscience, is based upon the famous Feynman lectures which were given in 1959. There's a famous quote by Feynman that there's plenty of room at the bottom, this very famous statement. And later on in 1974, there was a famous scientist named Norio Taniguchi of Japan, who worked tremendously in a very, very good manner, and he coined the term nanoscience. He is also known as the father of nanoscience, Norio Taniguchi. And you know that up to up to 1981, the work on the nanomaterials is very slow because we don't have any such instrument which is very useful to see the size of nanomaterials, the bonding between them, morphology, TGA, such properties which are very important, which are very important, but we don't have an instrument at that particular time. But in 1981, Gerard Benning discovered STM instrument, tunneling microscope, scanning tunneling microscope, and after that there is a very tremendous jump, high jump in the research of nanoscience. Okay, you know, this is, I have to describe that if particle size is to 10 raised to power minus 9 meter to 10 raised to power minus 10 meter, then the whole behavior of such particle whose size is between 10 to the power minus 9 meter to 10 raised to power minus 8 meter is under the preview of nanotechnology. It's very simple words. Now today's main topic is synthesis of nanomaterials. There are three types of methods for preparation of nanomaterials. First of them is physical method, second is chemical method, third is biological method. First of, let us study about first of this physical method. There are mainly three physical methods used in the nanoscience. First of them is ball milling. First of them is ball milling. Second is ion implementation. फिजिकल में है फर्स्ट आपका ball milling, and second will be ion implantation, and third one is spray pyrolysis. And you have to understand and keep in mind that physical methods always useful when a small quantity of nanomaterial is to be prepared, and the temperature used in this process process is generally above 350 degree Celsius, while there are some chemical methods. One of famous is electrochemical method. Second is pyrolysis method, and third and most famous method is sol gel method. And this method is very important. You should be keep in mind that chemical method in chemical methods, the temperature used is about how much? Less than 350 degree Celsius. Okay, and these methods are used. Is this method? Chemical methods used where we have to prepare a large quantity of what? Nanoparticle. Okay, third one is biological method. Third one is biological methods. There are so many methods which are used to prepare nanoparticles by using bacteria, algae, and fungi and enzymes and a neutron biomolecules, and here temperature during preparation is about how much? About 100 degrees Celsius. About 100 degrees. And during the preparations of these nanoparticles, there are some important factors which must be taken into consideration during synthesizing and characterizing all nanoparticles. Some of them important factor is temperature. It is a very important parameter that affect the what? That affect the synthesize nanoparticles using physical, chemical or biological method. It is an important factor. You know, energy is directly proportional to temperature. So it is a very important factor which affect the size, the behavior, and you have to say a different word for this. You have to say that uh, it is very important factor uh, to show up the many characterizing properties like UV, FTIR, SAM, morphology, TGA, etc. Okay, and I told you in this very topic that the temperature in the physical methods is about 350 degrees Celsius, and in the chemical methods it is about less than 350 degrees Celsius, and in the biological it is about 100 degree Celsius. And second factor is pressure. It is also a important factor, as you know, this factor is very important, as it is related with the reaction medium, which affect the shape and size of all these nanoparticles. And that if pressure is high, and if you use the electrochemical method for preparation of nanoparticles, then the whole morphology of the coming nanoparticles will be very different if you vary a high and low temperature. It's very important factor. You know that if we bombard the ionic beams on different pressures, then even IC's properties are vary. So it is very important factor. And third factor is time. You may called it is also a important factor. Why it is important? Because it is the factor which decide how much up to how much time the interaction of coming materials take place with the affecting force. It is that factor which decide how much time the whole reaction takes place. Whole reaction, how much time t, how much time that whole reaction will takes place. And it also affect the properties of the coming, or you have to say newly prepared particles. And fourth factor is pH value of medium or solution. In many research papers, it is find out that pH value of solution in which nanomaterials are to be prepared there. I have to say that pH value is very important factor which decide the properties like shape, quality and size of the newly prepared particle. It has been observed that pH of the solution, or you have to say medium, affect the size and texture of synthesized nanoparticles. And in many research papers it is found that if the value of pH vary, then size of synthesized nanoparticles will be different. All these are factors, and on the based form preparation methods. There are two type of method. First is top down method. Second is bottom up method. We will discuss later on these topics. Top down method. Top down, it means to break a heavy material to a teeny material of size 10 used to power minus 9 meter. Then the whole process is under the preview of top down methods, and these methods require large amount of installation, huge installation, and a big area and lot of money. But on small scale, it is under control in the terms of money and installation. Second is bottom up methods. Okay, we will today we discussed about the factors affecting the synthesization of nanomaterials, and we discussed many other properties like size of nanoparticles and how many methods are there to prepare uh, to prepare nanoparticles. We know that there are three types of method for preparation of nanoparticles. First is physical method, then is chemical method, and third one is biological methods. And there are so many factors which affect the synthesization of nanoparticles. First one is and temperature. Second is time. Third one is pressure. Fourth one is pH value, and fifth and most important is cost of production. And fifth is, one of them is pore size. However, it is not a so important affecting factor, but when we use these materials in medical science, then this factor is much important. Okay, this is the end of today's lecture. Thank you very much for your kind preparation.